All right, good morning, everyone. There we go. So it's about 9:05, and sitting down to a fairly fairly sparse gap scanner. We really don't have a lot that looks interesting. We have some momentum among cannabis sector stocks this morning, which is a sector that I'm not a huge fan of. Good morning, Trey. It seems that these are maybe better for sometimes swing trades than day trades. A lot of people that have been interested in this sector, but doesn't seem to hold up super well. Some bag holders. But you've got this AGRI, which I'm already up $1,200 on. Got a couple trades on it. Well, it was really one trade, but I added resistance, but it just broke over that level. That crosses right around 540. So you've got room on this up to 715, and then from there you've got room up to 845. I have that at 35. Let's move it up to 45. So you do have some windows on this one, but those are topping tails. I don't know if we can trust it, but 845 is all-time highs. All things considered, we're not that far off that level. But it is extended on the 5-minute chart. You've got 4 big green candles in a row. Didn't really make that much on it. Kind of got in a little late. I actually bought so this was a topping tail here at 60. And I thought, okay, topping tail, high volume, that's it. That's the top. But when it broke that level, I said, oh, well, okay, if it's going to break that level, that is bullish. I'll jump in. And we got a squeeze from 60 up to 75. All right, so made $1,200. Pulled back. Now we're on the third pullback, due for a 5-minute pullback. So let's see how the 5-minute shapes up, if it just fades or if it holds up. One of the problems with this one is it's not the leading gapper. It's only up 13% right now. In fact, our leading gapper is only up 37%. I was hoping that we might have some breaking news at 8:30, 8:45, 9. Maybe we still have some at 9:15 or 9:30, because it wouldn't take much for a stock with breaking news to be up 37, 40% and become the leading gapper. So looking for some breaking news. That would be probably best case scenario for today. At the moment, it feels like it might just be a small green day, a small finish to the week, which is okay if that's what it is, and if I can keep it green. If it's a red day and I can make it a small red day, that's okay too. Either way is fine, but I don't think it's going to be a really awesome day unless maybe AGRI starts to really open up, which it could, I suppose, or we get something else that comes into focus. So let's look a little bit at our continuation stocks. So we have from yesterday, DRTS. This one put in an impressive move from 13 all the way up to 21, just about. Pulled back. Right now is at about 15. So it retraced most of the gains. Pivot here is probably the high of this candle. It tried to break over VWAP, but it couldn't do it, couldn't hold it. So right there, about 17. That's an interesting spot to watch. Continuation on ALLG. This one pulled back too much yesterday. It's red on the day. Don't like that. LLL. This one was very choppy yesterday. Popping up, dropping down. Popping up, dropping down. It was wild. And for those that tried to stick it out, you got another nasty rejection there. Up to 512, down to 450. So this one clearly has been choppy. It needs to break over 7 to be really fireworks, and we're not there right now. So trading it down in this area, probably not worth it. Let's see. It was my biggest winner yesterday, but it was choppy. As always, reminder for those tuning in on YouTube, my results are not typical. Trading is risky, in case you didn't already know that, so take it slow. Trade in a simulator before you put real money on the line. And if you haven't already hit the thumbs up, I hope you do take a second to hit the thumbs up. It makes a huge difference for the channel. We've got some exciting things going on here in the, we're finishing the month of March, but going into the month of April. April is our anniversary month. So it's the anniversary of when I opened Warrior Trading. It's also the anniversary of when I published How to Day Trade. And it's the anniversary of when I put the video on YouTube that's now our most popular video with almost 10 million views when I published that on YouTube. So I encourage those of you on YouTube who haven't already joined our newsletter to join the newsletter. Traders on the newsletter will get the opportunity to give me some suggestions of classes that I will be teaching live during the month of April. So added back there at 67 on AGRI. Once again, it's ripping back up. Watch for a break of 75 and then a squeeze up to 77. So we've got 74. Adding at 74 and adding at 75 and then profit at 77. So now, let's see, that added another 800 bucks. That's not too bad. It's a premature breakout on our 5-minute chart, reducing size. The high was 80, new order will go at 80, 580. But you know, that candle just surged right up. So I bought a little high into that candle. That's okay, I don't really mind doing that. If it's showing momentum, I'd rather buy when it's going up than buy into a huge flush. So now watching to see if we can get over 80. If we can get over 80, then we're going to be looking at a move up towards 6. However, a little bit of a divergence, lighter volume right now on this candle. Well, it's early on the 5-minute candle, but another high volume red candle. So we can see how this one is a bit choppy. All right, so for those on YouTube, I'm going to put this here, and I'll post this on, let's see, I'll post this in the announcements or in the YouTube broadcast for you guys. Join the newsletter for daily free content. There you go. Everyone who registers and joins the newsletter will get an email copy of my book, How to Day Trade. That'll be the first email you guys get. Thanks, John. Appreciate that. So we're on a little bit of a pullback here. We broke through this level. We're coming back now. We're retesting it. It's a bit of a funny chart. Added back at 70. Looking for first candle to make a new high. So see how we pop right back up to 79. I'm going to put an order at 85. If we can break over 80, then 85.95. Add it at 79 right there. So now I'm going to start to get dialed in on this for the break of 80, and then I move up to 85 and 95. There's 82. New order goes at 86. Holding 1,500 shares. So smaller positions for me right now. Flat at 76. New order is going to be at the high of 83. We didn't break 85, so I didn't get a chance to add on that. But we'll just keep actively trading it. High volume on the green candle on the 5. Dip at 76, 1,500 shares. What I'd like to see is it pull away, right? So what's that pulling away pattern? Pulling away and squeezing through 85, 95, and up through $6. If we could break over 6, then 605, 610. Let's see. Back to flat for right now. It's a little extended up here. We're up about 15%. I would love to find something that I can really trade aggressively. I don't know if this is going to be it. So far, just a couple of small trades. Congratulations to Andrew, who just got his 100K badge. Congratulations, Andrew. He's been a member since July of 2020. Good for you. As always, results are not typical. High of this candle there is 75. So nice little dip trade there. So our catalyst on AGRI is this cannabis kind of news that we've had. It's pulling back a little bit. I don't see any fresh news on AGRI. So some traders may be eager to short it. It's up 15%. There's no real news for it. It's kind of just a sector sympathy trade. At the same time, I don't see anything much more obvious. Tilray is pulled back a little bit. 17 cents a share to short AGRI. Okay, that's good to note. Starter there at 83, or 79. We'll add 88 and 89. Let's see if we pull away up to $6. Volume is pretty high on this candle. New orders at 85. Watching the break of 85 and then 86, 87. So it popped up there to 87. Let's see if we get 88 and 89. There's 85. I'm going flat on it right now. Feels like a little, I don't know, a little extended. I'm not sure. Kind of thought it was going to break right there. Green candle, which is good, but it keeps kind of popping up and then pulling back, popping up and then pulling back. Yesterday you had AKAN. This one popped up a little bit. I think, let's see, from $8 up to $9.50, pulled back. $9.60 was the high. Float, pretty low. This was on International Medical Cannabis Company. You had L-Fly. This was another sort of recent IPO. Leaf Lee Holdings operates an online cannabis information resource platform. YCBD. Which one was that? Symbol name change? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I can see a long history on the chart. For those tuning in on YouTube, I hope you hit the thumbs up. If you haven't already, I really appreciate it. So we have about 4.5 minutes to the opening bell. I'm sitting at $2,400 on the day on AGRI. You know, 3 or 4 small base hits on it. So I think the problem that we have right now is that we don't have an obvious gapper. You know, AGRI is our sixth leading gapper. It's up 15%. I mean, it's the cleanest chart right now, but I don't know. I mean, it's the most obvious, but it's not ideal. Doesn't have fresh news. It's sector momentum, which I don't usually like as much. I mean, sometimes it can work, and it certainly worked with USO oil a couple weeks ago, but I'm just not sure that I can, you know, it's pulling back a little bit here. So this one, maybe if it can get over $6 and start to open up, we'll leave an order at 6. What else do we have? GRVI, $5. Gapping up 7%. Recent IPO there, all-time high is 850. Volume's a little lighter on this one. I'll take a starter at 24 there. You could see how it's starting to break. Volume's a little lighter, but let's see if we get up to 75, 80. Holding 1,000 shares, took some off at 60. We'll look to add back. In a hotter market, I would add at 75. I'll put an order at 75 to add. Let's see if it wants to break that level. Add it at 65. There you go. See how it popped right to $6? So now watch 85.95. New orders at $6. Somewhat recent IPO on the gap scan. Added at 88 for the breakthrough $6. You've got 6 on the ask. Taking a little profit at 96. Looking to add back at 6. Added back at 97. Now looking for the squeeze through 625. We could see a halt up at the open. That would be ideal. Added on at 81 to buy the dip. I don't have shares available to borrow on this one. Being a recent IPO, it's not surprising. So now watch for the break of $6, and we'll see if we get a move up to 625 and 650. So there's 6 on the ask. Hitting my other scanner there. New order at 610. Little churn here. Watching it add again on a dip. Only 4 seconds to the opening bell. 3 seconds. So watching for the squeeze through 610. Halt level up is 627. Holding a little under 700 shares into the halt up. AGRI watching. So AGRI popped there on that candle. It feels a little heavy right here. Those on YouTube, if you want me to keep streaming a little longer today, hit the thumbs up. If we can get over 1,000 thumbs up, I'll stream for the rest of the morning. and make this a morning show and a recap all in one. Thank you. Appreciate you guys hitting the thumbs up. Watching AGRI, quick long there for the break of 88. 1,500 share starter. So see, there you go. See how it starts to curl up there? Now can it break through 90? A little churn. Back to flat, new orders at 90. This was a little break right there of 83. So a bit of grinding pattern. Watching it add back at 90. And then 95, 98 for the break over 6. New orders at $6, so I have a little offset. Added at 88. Now let's look for 95. Added at 95. Adding at 96. Now we're going to look for the squeeze through $6. Right? Watch the adds at 98, 98, adding right here. And then I like to size up for that squeeze through $6. I'm going to buy the dip at 94. There's 6 on the ask. Holding 2,500 shares. Looking to add back at 6. Added right there at 6. Let's see if we snap through this level and squeeze up to 610, 615. A little profit through the breakout. Holding now just 200 shares. Letting it pull back. The high of this candle was 605. New order goes at 605. If we can break through 610, then we start looking at that move up to 625. Dip trade at 88. Bought the dip. Profit at 95. 93. We'll let it pull back for a moment. SPRC. Later on volume, blue sky setup. This was on the gap scanner. Got in as it broke through 25. Started actively trading it a little bit more aggressively around 6. Holding a smaller position right now. Showing a 665 resumption. New order would be 7. Blue sky setup. AGRI. Added back at 6. Next added 605. Added 605. Now we're looking for a squeeze to 610, 615. So as this starts to pull away here, we want to see that move up to 615, 620. Added there. Nice. Quick trade through that level. My fill was a little high at 609. Took profit at 606. New orders at 610. I'll put it at 615. This one is just like small little base hits. It does feel heavy. It's not really opening up. Well, fellas, there's enough of me to go around. What's all the arguing? Some folks on YouTube seem to be fighting over me. I'm flattered. All right, let's watch SPRC. New orders at 7. Watching dip and rip. Still halted, showing a 680 resumption, leaving the order at 730. AGRI pulling back a little bit. So those of you guys on YouTube, I have, for the month of April, a plan to teach a number of classes as YouTube lives to celebrate the anniversary of when I published our most popular video on YouTube and when I opened Warrior Trading. So if you want to provide some input of what you would like me to teach, you have to be on our newsletter, and we'll email everyone on the newsletter a link so you can give feedback and tell me what you'd like me to teach. You want me to, whatever it is, you tell me. And I'll be teaching some free classes for the YouTube community through the month of April. LEDS, I'm not going to go for this one right now. I don't really trust it. Just going to leave that alone. MAXN. Not familiar with this one. I'll give you the link for the newsletter. Let's see. It is right here. All right, so when you register, you'll get a free copy of my book, How to Day Trade, and then we'll send you surveys for which class you want to have me teach. Next, NEXT. Not sure about this one right now. AGRI is pulled back a little bit. So we hit that high of 610. Now we're back at 570. SPRC is on a 10-minute long halt. Yep. It's a blue sky setup above about $8, $8.50. Had higher volume yesterday as it went from 4 to 5, continued this morning. I am. I'm holding just under 700 shares at 589. So watching for resumption and looking to see if I can add 750 shares and then ride the momentum. Ultimately, we're going to need a pullback to help reestablish a lower risk setup. So watching here, add at 75. I want to see if it curls up through $7. So watch over 75 and then 85.95 for the next halt up. There's 75. So the add spot here is 75, added right there at 75. Now we're looking for a squeeze up to 85.95. Next halt level is 725. Watching to buy the dip. So there's a seller at 50. When that seller starts to get bought up, I'm going to look to add there for first 1 minute candle to make a new high. Added, look at that. Now look for the squeeze through 7. Halt level is 725. So that seller broke, added at 95, 695, 725 is the halt level. Holding right now a smaller position. Back to flat on that for now. Took a loss. I'm going to look to see if I can add back if it false halts. So that was kind of interesting. Watching false halt potentially. It's a real halt. So that was interesting. We had that seller there at 50. We broke through it and we ripped up to 7. I thought we were going to halt up and then reversed and came back down. We'll watch for a dip off the pullback. AGRI will keep on watch. So I lost from my ad at 7. I don't know how much I was up, but it doesn't really matter. I gave back that profit. Lost probably $2,000. But that's okay. AGRI still on watch. Nice, Jack. Good work. Stay green. Yeah, LEDS. We've traded it before. I'm not sure that I'm into it. Well, on SPRC, it's showing a flat resumption. I was tempted to buy at 93 because I thought it might pop right back up. This candle dropped from 672 all the way to 593 in 10 seconds. That's a pretty big drop. At the same time, now you've got 2 red candles in a row, and it whipped up from 650 up to 690, but then reversed. So now I'm not really sure. A dip trade, sure, but is it going to get back to 7? I don't know. The chart's not as clean with these red candles. AGRI is also pulling back, so that's not helping it. Momentum in general is sort of softening off of the moves that we had at the open or pre-market. Volume weight average price is also 626. So both of these are below VWAP right now. They're both pulling back. Watching. Bought the dip at 80. Looking for the pop back up over $6. They're 616, 628. So, you know, I've got an average of 586 right now. High of this candle is 638. Halt level is 650. The low of this candle says 536. I didn't see it go that low. So we'll let it base out and see if it curls back, can reclaim VWAP, and then hold above it. High of this candle is 38. So next order is at 638, 640. So, you know, I don't see the 200 EMA. Doesn't populate on my charts when there aren't that many candles. I don't know if that's an E-signal problem, but so let's watch for another dip. Added at $6 to buy the dip. Now looking for the retest of 625, 650. So I'm looking for 624 to break. If 624 breaks, then I'm thinking maybe we get a move back to 638, 640. There's a hidden seller. You can see it's 6 right now. I don't know if it's going to break. Leaving an order at 640. FRGE, let me look. FRGE, we traded this one the other day. It's coming up to its 200 moving average right there. The halt level is not too far away. It's a little extended. It's hitting my scanner there as it squeezes up. Halt level's 1548. Interesting how this one kind of pops up and this one pulls back. So it's at its halt level of 1550. Nice, good job, good call. Is it going to halt up? Yep, halted up. Well done. Good trade. Reminder for beginner traders out there tuning in, if you didn't already know, trading is risky. My results are not typical, and most beginner traders lose money, so I encourage you to trade cautiously. And don't trade with money you can't afford to lose, and don't try to blindly follow me or anyone else. I'm happy to give you my market commentary and share with you what I'm doing, but I want you to understand that this broadcast is for educational purposes only. So you've got a halt there on FRGE. Daily chart, probably want to see it get above 1770, but yeah, so sort of similar on ALLG. I still have SPRC on watch, but it needs to get back over volume weight average price. So ALLG popped up to 16. 1689 is your next level. That's up 2% today. No resumption price that I'm seeing on FRGE, as it's added at 65 and 70 on DRTS. DRTS is sympathy to ALLG. So we're trading some sympathy momentum here. Watching DRTS for an add at 95 and the breakthrough 14. So it jumped without me there. Let's watch 1410, 1415 as ALLG squeezes higher. There's 53. ALLG squeezing up towards 17. Bought the dip on DRTS. Now looking for the break of 1450. Let's see if we get a squeeze through 1475. ALLG looking good. ALLG up towards 17. DRTS is sympathy. Watch DRTS over 1435. ALLG. Watching ALLG for a possible trade over 17. Flat on DRTS for now. ALLG is pulling back a little bit. It's always difficult to trade multiple stocks. Added back at 78 on DRTS to buy the dip. There's 1405. ALLG added at 75 for the breakthrough 17. Now watch ALLG for 1725, 1750. Added at 1717 on ALLG for the squeeze through 1725. Back of mind target is 1750. Watching, so ALLG pulling back, watching for a dip trade on it. DRTS. So took a $2,000 loss on ALLG. The high was 1720. Put my new order at 1720. If it can pop right back up. Kind of a bigger flush there, but then popped back up. Hit a high of 1720 and then dropped down to a low of 1630. Man. Not sure about AGFY. Costs, that goes with GameStop. I'm going to leave both of those alone for the time being. FRGE, nice resumption. Look at that. Bought the dip on ALLG for the FRGE sympathy. Watch for the add on ALLG through 1720. Adding there 1716 for the breakthrough 1720. We're getting nice momentum there on FRGE. I didn't trade it, but watching and trading ALLG. All the way to 1989. Little chop on ALLG. FRGE, good job for those that traded that one. So FRGG added there for the break of 20. And there's the halt up. Added at 25 on ALLG. Looking for 37 and 47. There's 65. Taking some profit, added back at 70. Now looking for 18 on ALLG. Watch for the break of $18 and then 18.39 halt level. Dip, watch for the add, 18, there's 18.19, 18.15. Nice on ALLG. Holding 1,600 shares, bought the dip at 75, looking for the pop back up over 18. Back to flat on ALLG for now. What a surprise. This is like, I wasn't expecting this kind of jumping around stuff. I wasn't expecting FRGG to go from 13 up to 20 bucks. So I missed, this is tough because I could have done a dip and rip on this. It opened high, it hit 1750, but I was sort of focused on ALLG and DRTS, which I at the moment was thinking, well, these are maybe have more volume, might be a little easier to trade. And there's sympathy momentum, so I'll just focus on those. Which, I don't think it's a bad approach, but I ended up losing money and then having to make back the money I lost on ALLG. Holding a small position on FRGE right now. Kind of a wild morning when you've got that much stuff moving. So DRTS and ALLG pulling back a little bit. Nice, Jack. Good work. You're welcome. Bought the dip on ALLG there at 90 for the pop back up over 17. Kind of looking for this curl off of VWAP and see if we get a move back through 17.15, 17.20. Let's see if we break through 95. So I watched the first 1 minute candle to make a new high. This 1 minute candle is 30 seconds left on it and is going green. So we want to watch for the break over 17. Watching the add down here, added at 83. So see how we've got this candle going green on, there you go. So now we want to see 17.25. There's 17.28 and there's some profit up to that level. So that was buying off of support, a support entry. Curl there. First candle made a new high, but we'll see how it holds. Back to flat. FRGE will watch on resumption. The halt time was 56. Resumption should be 10:01 and 33 seconds approximately. So when we traded this one the other day, we got, let's see, 2 halts up. And then it squeezed a little further, then it halted down twice, and then it curled back up and halted up again. So let's watch to see where we can find support and see if there's an entry near support. So for those over on YouTube, appreciate you guys tuning in for a little bit of a longer morning show today. This will be morning show, and then I'll do a recap, so it'll be a little bit longer. I would appreciate if you guys hit the thumbs up. For every thumbs up, I'll donate $1 to charity. So if we get, there you go, 22.47. Nice. So second halt up. Really didn't even dip. I'm holding 50 shares. So if we get 3,000 thumbs up, donate $3,000 to charity today. So all-time high is 26.90. Not that far off from that level. But why don't we have sympathy momentum? I'm surprised ALLG isn't holding up better. That's all right, Andrew. Green is good. So I would expect at some point a halt down on FRGE, and I would probably use that to try to look for support for possible dips for then a retest, a curl. So ALLG kind of dipping down, popping back up. Your pivot there is around 17.29, but the last time it came up there, it kind of rejected. So we'll see. So about a minute to resumption on FRGE. So I'm not really looking to buy out of this halt, but just watch it and see how high it goes and then where it pulls back, where it finds support. So there's a predictable pullback. So now we want to watch, because if this is a false halt, if we get short covering right here and we bounced up, that would be important. Right now it's looking like a real halt. So no trade going into that spot. We've of course seen where sometimes these will dip down like this. They'll come to the halt level, and then you'll have short covering and you'll have buy orders through short covering and people just buying the dip, and then it'll rip back up. And if early shorts are trapped, they can cover as it squeezes through the high, and then you get a halt up and it starts to really go crazy. Not that this isn't already pretty crazy, but that didn't happen. We didn't thin out and we didn't break that level, so just watch to see where it finds support. VWAP is at 1826. Simon says today's best day of 2022. Nice. Good job. Thanks, Jay. Yeah, I'm holding 13 shares. So I am in the halt down, but I only got a partial fill when I had first added on FRGE. So I filled 400 shares, and then I was scaling out as I had profit. It's just the way it goes sometimes, but it's fine. Eight years, James. Yeah. Well, I had my order ready for 1,500 shares for buying a dip if that had false halted, but you know, it didn't false halt. So it depends where it resumes, and I think it's probably going to be a 10-minute long halt. But let's just see. So watching here, previous halt was at 2070. So we're showing 1955. So right now this is just a watch added there at 43. Now look for the curl back up through 21. Watch the break over 2050. We break 2050, we're looking for the squeeze up to 21. First 1 minute candle to make a new high. New orders to add at 53. There we go. Nice. So do we get 2170? There's 2170. It seemed like there was a hidden seller there, and once that hidden seller got bought up, we broke. So now new orders 2178. Reducing some size there, watching for possible dip. Bigger spreads, a little harder to manage risk. New orders at 21. Added back at 86 for the break over 21. High of this candle is 2178, so watching 45 and 50. New order at 2189 for a break through the highs. Back to flat for now. So, you know, I only made $1,600 on FRGE, but a little bit of profit. We'll keep watching it. There's a lot of volume on this candle, which is good. Added back at 21. Looking for 2130, 2140. And then a squeeze up to 22. Nice. New order. See, it gives you these pops and then it pulls back. Flat on that trade. This area in here is a little bit more difficult. We'll wait for it to come back up. Thanks, Craig. PIK. Nice. Yeah, the relative volume's a little low. That's why it didn't hit my scanner earlier. So your high is 510. Yeah, I see that. Halt level's 531. Nice dip there and break from 95 up to 525. That was nice. Daily chart, probably want to see it get over 540. Your high of this candle is 23. Halt level is 40. So it's kind of getting a little extended here. So a little curling there on the 10-second. Be interested to see if this can reclaim 20 bucks. So FRGE breaking right there under VWAP and pulling back, not great. PIK perhaps taking focus away as it's moving a little higher. We're coming up towards about 10:30, and what you'll notice in my P&L today is it's scattered. Traded 5 different stocks, green on all 5, which is great, but no big winner. Missed the majority of FRGE. Tried to trade sympathy on ALLG and DRTS, but neither of them really worked out that great. ARGI at the open, did okay on, but not phenomenal. So it's kind of a slow finish to the week, but the 5 base hits have added up to $8,665.97, which is a fantastic day. So, I really can't complain. And at this time of day, I don't think I'm inclined to take any more trades. So I could take a break and then come back for afternoon power hour. And I might do that if it was a really solid morning or there was something that I really thought was going to open up. But I don't see anything that really looks quite right. So I'm just going to lock it up and take the money off the table, let you guys trade as you'd like, do your thing. I've got some great moderators in the room, some great traders with some nice big badges, and keep an eye on what they're looking at. I'm sure if they see something that looks good, they'll let you know. But I'm going to shut it down at 10 10:30 here, so just about. So to recap, if I was going to do a recap here of my trades from the day, we can switch to the single window. So a reminder for those on YouTube, if you haven't already joined our newsletter, make sure you join the newsletter. You'll get an opportunity to give me some feedback about what classes you want me to teach live on YouTube in the month of April. And you'll also get a copy of my best-selling book, How to Day Trade, and you'll get daily emails with helpful content. You'll get emails with my morning show, recaps, tips and tricks, breakdown of what I'm watching, watch lists, all that stuff. So make sure you guys are subscribed to the newsletter. This morning, our gap scanner, although we had SPRC that ended up being the leading gapper, this one was made its way up the gap scanner, kind of going right into the open as it broke through 525. It was continuation from yesterday. High volume today, but now a red candle, and it's pulled back, which is a little bit disappointing. But you did get a gap and go on it. Gapped up, squeezed to 627, opened higher, tapped 7, but then pulled back. On the 10-second chart, we were able to see how 50,000 share seller came in at 650, and I bought as that seller broke, and it ripped right back to 7, and I thought, okay, here we go, 725, 750, game time. And then it pulled back down. It dropped back down. So that was, let's see. Oh, and here's the link to register to the newsletter on YouTube. So that was a little disappointing. Halted down, got a little dip on resumption, but only made $1,600 on it. Made more money on AGRI, 3,200. This one was our sixth leading gapper, gapping up only 13%. A continuation setup from yesterday. We did break through daily descending resistance, as you can see right here, squeezed up to a high of 610. I was a little skeptical. I was not sure it was going to hold up super well. Did the best I could on it. High volume at the open, nice big green candle, but it just wasn't able to hold that level, and it has also pulled back. This was on cannabis sector sympathy. We've had some momentum in that sector yesterday and today. But a lot of them are pulling back. So with AGRI pulling back, I, at that time, took a quick trade on SPRC, which moved up the gap scanner. And then at the open, I was sitting tight. We ended up getting this squeeze on FRGE. This thing squeezes up and halts up at 1548. And I may have mentioned it earlier because we had traded it earlier in the week on this day here. And so, it popped up a little bit at the open, but with light volume, dipped down, then squeezed into this halt. And so when it halted, I thought, okay, I missed that one, but ALLG is a similar recent IPO setup. Well, let's trade that one. And ALLG got some sympathy momentum from 15 up to $18. My first trade on it, I lost $2,000. Right? I got in a little too high. Or actually, my first trade, I think I made some money and sold, and then I added back for 17, stopped out at 1630, then added back right here and took profit off into that move. So a little choppy there, not super clean, only up $1,000 on it, but better than being red 2,000. DRTS, sympathy to ALLG. Didn't really do super well on this one. It's my smallest winner of the day. Red to green move. Was hoping it would open up a little bit more, but it didn't. And then FRGE on resumption, it resumed and ripped up to a high of 1989, pulled back, and then I went long for the break of 20 into the halt at 2043. Only filled 400 shares, took half off the table into the halt, and then took the rest off the table going into the next halt at 22.47. On resumption, we hit a high of 24.62, halted down. Got a dip as it curled back up, nothing big, and then now it's selling off a little bit more. At the moment, we've got a couple other stocks hitting the scans. I'll put this here. So we've got IMTE hitting our scans. We had PIK hitting the scans. So, a couple different setups. IMTE, PIK is all-time high 1049. IMTE, this was one of the first recent IPO setups that I remember trading. This was back, that did really well. This was back in 2018. Look at that thing. From $2 to $40 in one day. It was phenomenal. So And that started kind of what I remember as being the first kind of round of momentum on that kind of setup. So yeah, but anyways, PIK, no interest in that really at this point. I just don't want to overstay my welcome. Yesterday, I overstayed my welcome a little bit. I went from being up, I don't know, whatever it was, 8,000 to up only 3,000, and then made my way back to up 8 and 9, and was pretty happy to take that profit off the table and walk away at high of day. So right now I'm walking away at high of day, $8,600. My results are not typical. Trading is risky. Most beginner traders do lose money. So a reminder for those out there that are tuning in on YouTube. But this is where I finished the day. We had some volatility in the market, and I was able to find some profit. Doesn't work like that every day. I certainly have my fair share of red days, but in the green here today. And my goal for today was to have a successful day. That could be a small green day or a small red day. I wasn't expecting to have a home run or a huge winner, and I felt that way basically as soon as I looked at the gap scanner at 7:45 this morning and saw, at that point, all higher float stocks that were cannabis names, because I know that those aren't as easy to day trade. So I thought, well, all right, we might not get much. But AGRI, initially I let it go ways without me, but then finally said, all right, I'll start trading it. So on this one, I didn't even start my first trade until it broke through this level right here of, oh no, it wasn't that one, of this level here of 60, right? That was where I took my first trade, 55, whatever. Squeezed up to 75, pulled back, so traded it in this range. But in this case, from this point up, actually wasn't as clean as the beginning of the move. And you'll often find that. The beginning of the move is when you can see the cleanest and the biggest moves. Same with FRGE. And if you miss them, sometimes you just got to wait for the next one. So that's sometimes just how it goes. Sometimes you don't get a clean pullback, or you do, but you still feel like it's a little too risky, and you just miss the whole thing. So wait for the next one. There'll always be another one coming around the corner, and so there's no reason to get bent out of shape chasing, a train that's left the station. Just wait for the next one. So that's it for me. It's 10:30. It's Friday, and it's the last Friday in March. Next week, a week from today, will be April 1st. So we're going to finish off March next week, 4 more days. Would like them to be successful days, small red, small green. If we do see the opportunity to step up to the plate and I can get a really big day, that's great. But, I'm not going to count on it. I'm not going to expect it. I'll just be happy to have nice, consistent days, small green, small red. Keep it consistent. And then, as I said, going into the month of April, I'm going to be teaching a series of classes for YouTube to celebrate our anniversary month. So it's the anniversary of when I opened Warrior Trading, the anniversary of when just about the anniversary of when I published How to Day Trade, the anniversary of when I published our most popular video on YouTube. So we've got some special stuff that is planned for the month of April, and we'd love for you to be interactive and helping me plan out the content for the month. So if you're on the newsletter, you will be informed about what the schedule is, when I'm going to be teaching, what classes are coming up, and you'll be able to give your input of what class you'd like me to teach. So for those out there on YouTube, make your voice heard. For current students, we will be emailing you that information as well. You're already on the list, so you don't have to worry about that. All right, that's it for me. Good luck if you keep trading, manage your risk. Try to finish the day as a successful day. And if you're already in the red, a successful day can mean just stopping right here and not making it worse. Come back next week. Your best chance, in my opinion, for a winner isn't going to be this afternoon. It's going to be Monday morning, because between 8 and 10 a.m. is when we see peak volatility. And on days where we have a lot of volatility, we can sometimes squeeze out a little bit more through the rest of the day, 12:30, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, maybe even into power hour. That's usually only on days where we've had really strong morning. So if we haven't had a strong morning, as we kind of haven't today, I'm not sure that it's likely that we're going to have a super strong afternoon. But, you're getting a little bit on PIK. You can see it's a little choppy, but getting a little action there. So maybe you'll get a little bit more morning momentum without me. I might be stepping out a little early, but that's all right. I'm walking away with profit, maybe leaving a little on the table, but walking away with money in my pocket. All right, that's it for me. I hope you have a great weekend. Recharge, relax, rest up, and we'll be back on Monday.